back in the Olympic Stadium in Rome, the pole vault competition. Thierry Vigneron, 24 years old, who lives in Paris. His name means winemaker. He won the bronze medal in the Los Angeles Olympics. He's broken the world record several times, and right now he's shooting for a new world record of 19 feet, 4 3/4 inches. Bubka holds the current record, 19, 4 1/4. Here he is, Vigneron, for a new world record. And he has it. Vigneron has just broken Bubka's world record, 19 feet, 4 3/4.
The bars that they use over here in Europe have very soft, rubbery ends, and very often you can get away with steadying the bar on the pegs. But still, a 19-foot, 4 3/4 world record. Fantastic vaulting.
All right, here is 20-year-old Sergei Bubka from Donetsk in the Ukraine. The bar now is set at 19 feet, 5 3/4 inches, an inch higher than Vigneron's world record. He was little known 2 years ago, ranked 30th in the world, and then came through to win the World Championship in Helsinki. Here he is going for a world record, 19, 5 3/4. He's got it! A new world record. Sergei Bubka has just broken Vigneron's world record. Incredible, these two tonight. 2 world records, one right after another. And Bubka acknowledging the crowd. 20 years old, what a future he has. He's been on an absolute rampage here in Europe. Let's watch his power, Dwight.
Look at his determination here, Kurt. He's not going to allow his world record to be taken away from him for 1 second. He goes straight for the bar, just flies off the pole, doesn't work off the pole at all. 19, 5 3/4, a little tiny brush on the way over, you can hardly even see, and he has the world record back again. Incredible vaulting competition here.
And you talk about the Soviets not being emotional. Watch this. A historic night here in Rome with a tremendous competition between the Soviets and the Frenchmen. And they'll be moving the bar even higher. And we'll have a report later in Wide World of Sports of what happened. Right now, let's go to the United States Men's Outdoor Platform Diving Championships.
Jack Whitaker and Cynthia Potter back at Santa Clara at the International Swim Center for the Outdoor Diving Championships. We've already seen Michelle Mitchell win the women's competition in the 10-meter platform, and now the men are going at it, and what's it look like?
Looks like the Greg Louganis and the Bruce Kimball show once again, Jack. Greg Louganis has the opportunity to break my record of 28 national titles if he wins this championship. Bruce Kimball always gives him a challenge, and if Bruce is able to win today, he also will have a record 7 national titles, more than any other man in national competition on platform.
And here are the standings after 6 dives. There are 10 in all. Bruce Kimball now has taken the lead over Greg Louganis, and Greg had led almost from the start, with Leyland and Meyer in a close battle for 3rd place. Earlier in the week, they competed on the 3-meter and the 1-meter springboard, and Greg Louganis, with this kind of a dive, won his 27th national title, pulling to within 1 of Cynthia Potter's record of 28. But he was pushed very hard by Jim Gray, who finished 2nd, both of them finishing with over 700 points, and Greg's margin of victory was only 6.5 points. In 3rd place was Kent Ferguson of Ann Arbor, Michigan. The 1-meter competition was all Greg Louganis. And here he wins his 28th national title to tie Cynthia Potter's record. In 2nd place, Kent Ferguson. And in 3rd place, with his best effort ever on the springboard, Bruce Kimball. And we'll pick up the competition in the 10-meter platform with Bruce Kimball.
Bruce is doing an arm stand, cut through, reverse 1.5 somersaults tuck, 2.6 degree of difficulty. Silver medalist from the Olympic Games, and he seems to be just getting better all the time. He doesn't seem to experience a letdown after the Olympics.
Oh, yes.
Great dive.
Bruce Kimball and another fight with Greg Louganis. There's his father and coach. Yes, look at that, 9 1/2.
I'm not so sure what was wrong with this dive, Jack. I'm going to have to watch the slow-mo replay to tell if there was anything wrong with it. Up, I see his feet flatten just as he goes by the tower. I think that's the only reason he didn't get all 10s on this dive. I can't see anything else wrong with it. He's absolutely perfectly vertical going in the water. Holds the arm stand long enough, no splash. Spectacular dive.
Tremendous competitor, very consistent. And here we come to Greg Louganis. Earlier, Greg Louganis did what everybody dreams of doing, a perfect dive. He got perfect scores of 10s from all 7 judges, and this was it.
I couldn't criticize this if I had to, Jack. Absolutely beautiful.
There is a perfect dive. That put him in first place, of course, but right now he is trailing Bruce Kimball.
And he's doing an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. High degree of difficulty, 3.2.
Another great one.
Does it very well. He's making these dives look so easy. That's what Greg is a master at. He makes the dives look effortless, and they are not effortless.
9s. And that will put him in first place ahead of Bruce Kimball. They're having another dogfight, the two of them.
Now, this is obviously a very critical observation, but we're going to see when Greg kicks out of this dive right here that he's got a little pike bent at the waist when he goes in the water. He doesn't straighten all the way out through the hips. But a magnificent dive.
Now we're looking at Ron Meyer.
Ron is going to do a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck. Beautiful dive. Ronnie is able to get in one of the tightest tucks I've ever seen, and he does have long legs.
He's in a fight for third place with Lenny Leyland.
7, 6 1/2. 7, 6 1/2.
And there are the scores. Remember, they throw out the low and the high score, multiply the rest by 0.6 of a point, and then multiply that total by the degree of difficulty. Lenny Leyland now.
Lenny Leyland is performing a very difficult list of dives. He's going to do an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck here. We saw Greg Louganis do this dive earlier. 3.2, very high degree of difficulty. Let's see if he can make the dive. Didn't quite make it. That's one thing that's very important about performing these high degree of difficulty dives. If you can't make the somersaults, the number of rotations, it may be a little bit too much risk to perform them.
Yeah, there's a 4.5, and the 5s there are not going to do Lenny too much good. But it was good enough to keep him in third place in a fight with Ron Meyer as Kimball and Louganis fight it out for the championship.
After 2 hours in traffic, the Caseys will stop for lunch. They'll gulp down chili dogs and fries, but soon, Mom and Dad won't be feeling too well. Whether it's Mom's upset stomach or Dad's heartburn, the one that coats is the only one they need. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats your stomach, it relieves heartburn. Upset stomach even relieves diarrhea. Pepto-Bismol. For most common stomach discomforts, the one that coats is the only one you need.
450 degrees. That's how hot parts of your car's engine can get, even in ordinary driving.
Watch how heat and stress can break apart your oil's protected molecules. That's motor oil breakdown. STP oil treatment's heat-activated molecules fight motor oil breakdown, fortifying your oil with extra lubricants and anti-wear agents.
Get extra protection. Fight motor oil breakdown with STP oil treatment. STP. Your car care company.
These September Best Buys are sure selling fast.
Yeah, this Ace Propane Torch Kit is a real hot item. Easy to use and Best Buy priced at just $6.88.
Elmer silicone rubber sealer is a special from Borden.
Permanently flexible, waterproof, and durable indoors and out. Best Buy price is just $1.99. And the $1.50 rebate makes your actual cost only 49 cents.
49 cents. 49 cents. Ace is the place. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
You know how good it feels. A few months ago, I lost my lightweight crown. It was a war. Now I'm on my way back to getting my title. Bogner, you're in my way.
Ray Boom Boom Mancini makes his dramatic return to the ring against Kenny Bogner. Plus, the World Cycling Championships on ABC's Wide World of Sports following ABC Sports Beat next Saturday.
We're back at Santa Clara for the Outdoor National Diving Championships. The men's 10-meter platform. Here is Bruce Kimball, second behind Greg Louganis after 7 dives.
Bruce is performing a back 1.5 with 3.5 twist, 3.2 degree of difficulty.
He has a chance to make up some ground here.
Yes, he does. This is his highest degree of difficulty dive.
Oh, very nice.
Does it beautifully. He really takes advantage of this degree of difficulty difference here.
Go ahead, Bruiser. That's his father and coach, Dick Kimball. Yes, look, 9. So that'll put a little pressure on Greg Louganis.
Yes, he keeps applying the pressure. As I said earlier, I don't think he's experiencing a letdown after his silver medal performance in the Olympics. He takes off, wraps his twist up right away. That's what's so great about that. He gets into the twist right off the bat. He is almost a little bit too close to the platform, and he doesn't quite rotate all the way around. That's a tough dive to criticize, but he's just a little bit short of vertical.
Greg Louganis going after Cindy Potter's record of 28 national titles. This was Cindy 8 years ago in Montreal, where she won the bronze medal. Cynthia went on to win 28 national titles, more than any man or woman, until earlier this week when Greg Louganis tied that record. And here are the 56 combined titles disappearing into the water like 2 dolphins in the ocean. Louganis now.
Forward 3.5 somersaults pike. 3.0 degree of difficulty. A nice dive, a little bit over-rotated. Now, he had less degree of difficulty than Bruce Kimball, so he needed higher scores in order to continue to stay ahead of him.
Yes, and he rather knows it by the expression on his face. You can tell there are the scores, and that will put him in second place. Bruce Kimball now takes over first place from Greg again.
Here's Greg's 3.5 pike. We can see when he comes out of this dive after the 3rd somersault, right here, that his head is down going in the water, and it doesn't allow him to completely stop rotating. His feet wash over just a little bit.
Now Ron Meyer in the battle for 3rd place with Lenny Leyland. Ron's going to do a backward 1.5 somersault, 3.5 twist, 3.2 degree of difficulty.
This is a fairly new dive for Ronnie in his list. Very high degree of difficulty dive, back 1.5 with 3.5 twists.
Well,
mechanically, a beautiful execution. We could see that he's a little bit casted sideways going in the water, but I don't know if the judges can see that.
And good marks for Ron Meyer, and that's good enough, really, to put him into 3rd place. Here are the standings now after 8 dives of 10, as Kimball and Louganis, just 5 points apart, battle it out for the championship.
I must have 4 or 5 insurance policies. But I know I don't have a clear insurance plan.
For years, Allstate has made it easy to come in and talk and get your insurance needs worked out. That set the tone for the way the whole Sears Financial Network does business. Straightforward and down to earth. Visit a Sears Financial Network center or any Allstate office. The Sears Financial Network. Trust us to make it work for you.
Come on in, take a seat. We're gonna tell you what the big boys eat. The name is Wheaties Kick-A-Wheat. Now you know what the big boys eat. Hello, milk.
part of your good breakfast.
Monday nights are alive again. On September 3rd, running great Tony Dorsett and the Dallas Cowboys square off against 83 Rookie of the Year Eric Dickerson and the high-powered Los Angeles Rams on the season premiere of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. And on a Thursday night football special, last year's Central Division champions, the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by ex-Dolphin quarterback David Woodley, beat the fired-up New York Jets. Two great primetime games only on ABC.
Kurt Gowdy back here at the Olympic Stadium in Rome. We've been treated to an amazing night in the pole vault. Vigneron of France set a new world record, 19 feet, 4 3/4 inches. Back came Sergei Bubka of the Soviet Union with another world record of 19 feet, 5 3/4 inches. Then the bar was set at 19 feet 7. There's Vigneron in his second try. That was his closest attempt. He went out at that height. It's been rumored that in practice, Sergei Bubka has cleared the bar at the fabled 6-meter mark, which is an unbelievable 19 feet, 8 1/4. There he is trying. He missed on all 3 tries. But the historic vault by Sergei Bubka will always be remembered. Here it is, a new world record, 19 feet, 5 3/4 inches. And if anyone is to ever break the 20-foot barrier, Bubka will probably be the man. He has already raised a world record 4 1/2 inches this year, and he's only 20 years old.
Back at Santa Clara for the Outdoor Diving Championships, the men's 10-meter platform, 2 dives to go, and Bruce Kimball, this young man, leading Greg Louganis by just 5 points. 2 dives to go.
Oh, this is so exciting, Jack. This is his reverse 2 1/2 somersaults. He's done it for 10s in the past.
Oh, marvelous.
He may have done it for 10s again this time. This is how he won a silver medal in the platform at the Olympics. He kept applying the pressure to those divers that had more degree of difficulty.
The crowd loves it, and no wonder. 2 10s, 9 1/2s. And Bruce Kimball has certainly put a mark up there for Greg Louganis to shoot at. Now remember, though, Greg will have a higher degree of difficulty in his dive. But look at this.
This is so mechanically perfect. He takes off from the platform, spins around 2 1/2 times reverse, looks right at the water, kicks out, looks at the water again, going backwards, stretches through, and sucks the water in with him. He makes that rip entry.
Great dive by Bruce Kimball. Greg Louganis next, doing a back 3 1/2 somersault, tuck position, 3.3 degree of difficulty. Here's how he does it.
3 1/2 somersaults.
I picture it as a judge would see it, and then I picture it in my mind as I would see it. And the way that I would see it is I see the platform, see the water, and kick. And just one thing that I have to remind myself of is to kick tight and get my arms back.
Oh, yes.
He did exactly what he said he was going to do. It was all academic for him. That's been the key to these difficult dives.
Greg Louganis hits another good one. Now remember his degree of difficulty, 3.3 against Bruce Kimball's 2.7. While Greg doesn't get 10s or even 9 1/2s, the degree of difficulty will put him into first place just ahead of Bruce Kimball. Less than a point separating them.
Let's see how he did what he said he was going to do. He sees the platform there. He looks at the water there. He's going to look at the water one more time. Then he kicks out, just like he said, looks back for the water, and we see that it is absolutely academic for him.
Beautiful entry by Greg Louganis. Now we have Ron Meyer in third place.
Ron Meyer is doing an inward 3 1/2 somersault, a very, very difficult dive, spinning inwards towards the platform. Can't be too close to the platform, but you must be close enough to make the rotations. Oh, he makes it easy. He has a little bit of splash on the entry. Let's see how the judges view that.
Reward. 8, 7.
Well, he's getting 8s, 7s. There we go, 7 1/2s. And that should solidify his position in third place. The standings after 9 dives, and look at it. 81 hundredths of a point separating Louganis from Kimball with 1 more dive to go.
After 18 holes on a hot afternoon, you probably think I'd shower with a deodorant soap. Not a chance. I'm Keith Fergus, and I made a break from deodorant soaps. A clean break with Ivory. Look inside. Ivory's a basic, natural soap, and I like that. What I don't like are soaps that cover up clean with deodorants or heavy perfumes. I don't want that stuff all over me. With Ivory, I feel like there's nothing on me but clean. I can feel it, I can smell it. I call that an honest clean.
Make a clean break with Ivory. No soap can get you cleaner.
What she got and got a lot of, lots of hair from Prell. Lots of fullness, lots of thickness, lots of hair from Prell. Goodbye limp, goodbye flat, got lots of this and lots of that. Got lots of hair from Prell.
A little Prell leaves you looking like you got lots of rich, lots of thick, lots of full. Thanks a lot, sir.
Get the hair that's got a lot of, get lots of hair from Prell.
How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free?
This Monday and every week following Monday Night Football, Call to Glory.
The Outdoor Diving Championships from Santa Clara, California. Michelle Mitchell, who won the 10-meter platform for women earlier. Looking on at the men's competition, we're down to the final dive. This is Bruce Kimball, and this is how he looks at his dive.
Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is let my shoulders fade just a hair so my legs come up. And then I'll try and pick up both spots as I come around and put my head back on the end, just like on gainer 2.5. Try and get a good rip.
Try and get a good rip. He trails Louganis by only 81/100ths of a point. And did he get a good rip?
Oh, my gosh, Jack. He did a magical disappearing act on that entry. That is superb.
That's his father and coach, Dick Kimball. And look at those nice scores. 9s, 8.5.
Anything you could do.
But remember, 2.9 degree of difficulty. Greg Louganis will do a dive that has a 3.4 degree of difficulty.
I'm not so sure that this isn't more competitive than the Olympic Games in terms of the top two. Bruce comes around on his back 2.5 somersault. He looked right at the water to see where he was, and he looked back. And the greatest thing about this dive is the entry. He goes in the water without any splash whatsoever.
Well, he has put the mark up for Greg Louganis. Greg needs 7.5s and 8s on this dive, and here's how he looks at it.
Reverse 3.5, I really have to concentrate on not trying too hard. The tendency is if it's in a clutch situation that I'm going to try too hard and then I blow it. And so what I want to do is I want to get out to the end of the platform, relax, get my arms through, think about jumping strong, and then I spot the water, spot the water, spot the water, kick, and look back and stay tight.
Greg Louganis is doing the same final dive that he did in the Olympic Games, a reverse 3.5 somersault in the tuck position, 3.4 degree of difficulty. Oh, yes.
Oh, he had all the pressure in the world on him applied by Bruce Kimball, and he responds to that pressure.
He is clearly going to be the new outdoor champion. He only needed 7.5s and 8s. Look at that smile. And he gets 9.5 and 110. Greg Louganis.
I would think he's very relieved at this point, Jack. He's had a heck of a great summer, and this really tops it off, breaking that record.
94.86 on that as he's congratulated by his coach, Ron O'Brien. There's the second-place finisher, Bruce Kimball, who pushed Greg all the way. And here comes Sammy Lee, the gold medalist in 1948 and 1952 Olympic Games. What a year it has been for Greg Louganis. Let's take another look, Cynthia.
This is one of the reasons why he has added so much to this sport. He is doing these difficult dives totally effortless. He has it down to a science. He talks about spotting the water, kicking out and looking back. And he does exactly what he says he's going to do.
What a remarkable year for this incredible athlete. 2 Olympic gold medals to give him every international title there is, and now 3 more national titles to run his total to 29. 29 national titles, establishes a new record, and breaks the one held for so long by Cynthia Potter. Here's the old record holder and the new.
Congratulations, Greg, the greatest diver in the history of diving. How was it out there today?
Felt pretty good. I know there was tight coming in the last few dives, and Bruce and I just keep pushing each other. That's what makes the United States team so good.
You went for it, and it was great. Listen, what's in the future for Greg Louganis?
I'm not sure. I'm going to settle down a little bit right now. I got some time to take, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
Are you going to retire from diving?
No, I'm going to continue diving. We did get some rules changed, and so I can pursue a career and also continue diving, which I'm thankful for.
Well, you broke my record, and you did it with quite the style, and I congratulate you for that. That's wonderful. And back to you, Jack.
Thank you, Cynthia. Here are the final standings. Greg Louganis, the new champion, Bruce Kimball, second, and Ron Meyer, third. Here's how the other 5 finalists finished. All 8 qualify for the 1988 Olympic trials. This is Jack Whitaker for Cynthia Potter saying so long from Santa Clara, California. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Coordinating producer of ABC's Wide World of Sports, Dennis Lewin. U.S. Diving Championships produced by Mike Pearl. Directed by Ken Fouts. Golden Gala Track and Field Meet produced by Ken Wolf. Our director in Rome was Ben Harvey. Associate directors Bob Hirsch and Alan Braun. Technical director in Santa Clara, Jim Vreeling. Be sure to be with ABC Sports tomorrow for the United States Amateur Golf Championship. And again on Monday night for the season premiere of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football as the Los Angeles Rams play host to the Dallas Cowboys. Next Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports will feature a 10-round lightweight fight between Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Kenny Bogner, live from New Orleans. Plus the World Cycling Championships from Barcelona, Spain. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong from more top business centers with free-class Royal Pacific service.
Hi, I'm Dave Marr at the 84th Amateur Golf Championship in Edmond, Oklahoma. We had 2 semifinal matches today. The first match, Scott Verplank on your left, Dallas, Texas, versus Randy Saunier from Houston, Texas. Second shot at 18. Verplank is 1 up. Saunier has already hit his second shot about 10 feet from the hole. One point during the match, this young man was 4 up and has seen his lead dwindle down. As you can see there, Randy Saunier's ball about 10 to 12 feet from the hole. This chip shot took place a little earlier today. Just in the light rough, and I'm sure he thought this ball may run just a little bit more than that and left himself one I really wouldn't want to have. He is 1 up at the time, and Saunier missed his putt for the birdie, which would have put it in extra holes. And now this to get to the final of this year's United States Amateur Golf Championship. And he made it. A young man from Dallas who's played so well all week wins 1 up over Randy Saunier. The other semifinal match, not quite as exciting, but between 2 very fine young players, Jerry Haas and Sam Randolph from Santa Barbara, California. A lot happened to Jerry Haas at this point, and one of the bad breaks that happened was right at the 3rd hole. He had this short putt for a half, and watch what happens. It hit a little spike mark, and he went 2 down at that point, and things just went from bad to worse at that. We're at 13 now. Sam Randolph 6 up with 6 to play on this little par 3. As you saw, 145 yards, and he hits a very fine shot in there.
Great shot.
And Sam Randolph made that putt for a birdie 2 to win 7-5 over young Jerry Haas. And be sure and join us tomorrow for the final match of the 1984 Amateur Golf Championship between Scott Verplank and Sam Randolph.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This has been ABC's Wide World of Sport.
Brought to you by Wheaties, Big Time Crunch, Big Time Treat. Wheaties, what the big boys eat. By Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Gates Rubber Company.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sport, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Sunday.
Warden threw a party in the county jail.
The judge is taking Mark for a ride.
Does this mean we're engaged?
Hardcastle and McCormick. Then, when the husbands join the army, the wives go to war with Miss Annie's girls, the wild women of Chastity Gulch.
Good evening, I'm Don Strickland. In the news today, another mid-air plane crash, this time in Oregon. The Space Shuttle Discovery successfully launches a third satellite. And the San Juan Unified School District interviews possible substitutes as a teacher's strike deadline approaches. Tom Curran has the sports report. Elisa White has the weather. Next on Newswatch 13.
Toyota is turning the truck world upside down, including the competition's V6s. Introducing the new generation Toyota SR5 with a first-of-its-kind electronic fuel injection system that powers this Toyota from 0 to 30, 50, 55, faster than any competitor's V6. A lot of trucks will be eating this Toyota's dust in 1984.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
It's Skates Alive.
It's the Ice Capade.
A spectacular all-new show. Skaters fly 3 stories high above the ice. The lovable Smurfs from TV, now live in person. Ice Capade. The entertainment just won't stop.
Ice Capade. We've got the...
Wow. Don't miss the all-new world-famous Ice Capade. Wednesday, August 29th through Tuesday, September 4th at Sacramento Memorial Auditorium.
Wherever you run into trouble, State Farm can help with fast, efficient claim service. With thousands of full-time agents throughout the country, State Farm is a good sign you'll get personal service just about everywhere. If you want to get great claim service, get a State Farm agent.
In Lodi, see George Berg at 432 East Lodi Avenue. In Stockton, see Don Widmer at 2155 West March Lane.
All today's news from California's capital news station, Newswatch 13, with Don Strickland, Tom Curran with sports, and weather with Elisa White. Now, live from the California State Fair, this is Newswatch 13.
Hello again, I'm Don Strickland, coming to you live from Building V at the California State Fair. Topping the news, the Space Shuttle Discovery is giving a big boost to NASA's satellite launching business, successfully deploying 3 of them on its current 6-day mission. President Reagan congratulated the crew today after that last satellite was placed in orbit. AT&T owns it. It's a Telstar, able to replay 24 color television channels or 90,000 phone calls simultaneously. ABC's Bettina Gregory has more.
Today, Discovery's astronauts made it 3 for 3 with the successful launch of their 3rd satellite. Here you see the sun shield open.
Here comes the deploy. And just like SBS, it all worked super good. It was absolutely nominal.
AT&T owns this satellite and paid NASA $10 million to launch it. This is the first time a shuttle has put 3 satellites into orbit, so the crew of Mission 41D took a moment to brag about it. President Reagan followed up with a phone call.
Well, hello to Hank and both Mikes, Steve, Judy, and Charlie. Sounds like a little community of town you've got going up there. Any surprises so far?
Well, I guess for the 5 rookies here, it's a big surprise for them. This is a really tremendous ride. You ought to try it sometime.
Well, you don't mind if I think that over?
Astronaut Charles Walker, who works for McDonnell Douglas, spent some time getting his biological processing machine to work again on manual controls. But things are working so well that astronaut Judy Resnick told the president the biggest problem seems to be a healthy rivalry between the 6-member crew.